Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yanis, and I'm working at VIGINUM, the French National Service in charge of fighting foreign digital interferences. Back in Paris, I am an analyst, but spoiler alert, I decided not to work today. You will be the analyst instead. For the next 15 minutes, your mission, if you accept it, will be to detect and analyze an information manipulation campaign targeting the running of a presidential election. Sounds exciting, right? But before we start, let me introduce to you your main tool as an analyst today. It's called Slido, and through this QR code, you will be able to detect and step-by-step counter this disinformation campaign. All right? So I give you time to scan this QR code, and if you don't, no worries, it will appear every time I will ask you questions. Ready? Okay. Every investigation starts first by monitoring. So let's have a look on Twitter and see what's going on in top trends. What you can see here is a tool that allows you to analyze top trends for the last 24 hours. On the left, you have the number of tweets, and at the bottom, you will have the hours per day. So let's see what's going on so far. What do we have? Cinema. All right. Nothing to really worry about. Champions League, here, nothing to really worry about, even though my colleague in Paris will not be very happy to see that. Nato Youth Summit, makes sense, of course. You should use the hashtag, by the way. Swifties, as always. And last but not least, okay, hashtag boycott election day. This is clearly interesting and maybe suspicious. And I don't say that because Taylor Swift is usually way more popular than politics, but because, as we can see here on the left, the hashtag went viral very quickly. So maybe we should click on this hashtag and see who is using it. Okay, we might have found something interesting. As we can see here, 90% of the tweets were posted by only 7 accounts. We are clearly in front of what is called astroturfing, that consists in artificially amplifying the visibility of an hashtag by using several means, such as inauthentic accounts or coordinated behavior. Here, it looks like these accounts are really trying to give the impression that everyone is going to boycott the election. They are talking about fraud, about corruption, manipulation. Some of them are even sharing images, and others are talking about an article from Der Spiegel. But we will come back on that later. First, we must identify if we're in front of fake accounts. More precisely, if we're in front of bots. You all know what bots are, right? These are automated computer programs designed to act like human and to post in an automatized way. But I agree with you. Now that we know the definition, the question is, how do we detect bots? And here, I will need your help. So you have the possibility to select multiple answers, and please let me know, according to you, what should I look in order to detect bots? Okay. Yeah, looks like you're all very good, already excellent analysts. As it is true that the latest point, the fact that the username contains at least 3 numbers, is not that relevant. I mean, it's not because you have that you are necessarily a bot. However, the 3 other criteria are really useful and are used on a daily basis by our analysts at VIGINUM to detect bots. Okay, so now that we know what kind of accounts is trying to artificially amplify this hashtag, let's focus now on the content, the narrative, and analyze the message. Here, you have a screenshot of several tweets from the account Pixelcraft that is saying that we should boycott the election because of manipulation. As we can see, the narrative is the same. The message is the same, but the form is different. We go from no vote to no voting, from take a stand to make a stand. Here, it looks like this account is using the technique of copy-pasta that consists in duplicating the same content but with very small differences between each messages. The idea here is to bypass moderation and to make its message look way more authentic. But lucky for us, we are all good analysts and we've been able to detect it. Okay, let's do a small break. What do we have so far? We have the artificial amplification of a call for the boycott of the election by bots that are using the technique of copy-pasta. And remember, I talked earlier about an article from Der Spiegel, but also on pictures. So let's focus on pictures, and I do have a surprise for you. Because I can see that you are a good analyst, but how good are you when it comes to recognize images generated by AI? Are you artificial intelligence hunters? So it will be a quiz. You will have 30 seconds to identify between 4 images which one is generated by AI. So no worries, you will have time to join the quiz. And here is the first cluster of images that are the profile pictures of our bots. Okay? So I give you the time to join the quiz, and you will be able also to see the pictures on your phone and to click on that if you want to zoom a little bit. Okay. All right. Ready? Let's go. You have 30 seconds. Almost everyone had the time to vote. Okay. Ready? Well. Okay. And it was a little bit tricky, I must admit, because it was all of them. I agree. Sorry. It was just a little bit tricky for the first one, but no worries. You still have 2 tries to do so. So let's move on the second clusters of image. And here again, which image has been generated by AI? Oh, sorry, you may have to join once again the quiz. My bad. Okay. Are you able? Okay. Can you see the image on your phone? Perfect. Last few seconds. Okay. And the right answer was C, unfortunately. But it's okay, no worries. Last try, it will be a picture of a protest that is shared by some accounts with the hashtag boycott election day. Okay. So it's a little bit hard to, I must admit. Okay. Last one. Okay. And the right answer was C. Well, I mean, it's not that bad, and to be honest, it's quite difficult. That's why we're trying also to develop tools to detect in an automated way some images that are generated by AI. But this is also part of our job as analysts to assess the authenticity of some accounts that can be images, but also videos, or even more audio records. But as I said earlier, there was some images, but there were also an article from Der Spiegel. So now let's see this article. Then, oh, I forgot that. Congrats to Felix. I don't know where he is. Good, good, very good, very good. So you've been the fastest. All right. So now the article from Der Spiegel. It says the Greens have failed again due to poor decision by the Greens. Charging electric cars is significantly more expensive than refueling vehicles with internal combustion engines. Well, at this stage, nothing enough at all to say that we're in front of a fake news, or even more that we're in front of a disinformation campaign. But if we look from the beginning of this investigation, we've been in front of several inauthentic behaviors, from inauthentic accounts to images generated by AI. So how can we be sure that we're in front of the real Der Spiegel? Here, once again, I will need your help. It will be an open text, so there is no pre-selected choices. So feel free, don't be shy. You can do it here in Stockholm, but also online. Share your ideas on what should I look in order to be sure that I'm in front of the real media and not a copy. Yeah. Well, OSINT investigation has no secret for you. Indeed. Right. I think we've figured out the most important one. So let's go back on our screenshot and take some of the elements step by step. As I said earlier, a divisive or wrong narrative, well, it's not enough, first of all, but also when you analyze information manipulation campaign, it's better to focus first on the behavior and then on the content. However, a mistakes in language and spelling can be a little bit more relevant. Here we are in front of a German-speaking media, a web page in German, but still there is a French word at the top on the right saying abonnement, which means subscribe. That should not be here, I suppose. But indeed, and I've seen that, what you should really focus on as soon as you express any doubt about the authenticity of a media is the URL. And here we are not in front of spiegel.de, we're in front of spiegel.ltd. And this is clearly characteristic of a modus operandi called typo squatting that consists in impersonating the appearance of a real media by using a domain name very close to the original one in order to give the impression to users that they are in front of the real media and spread easily false narrative. I don't know if you have heard about the RRN doppelganger campaign, but between June 2022 and May 2023, more than 350 news outlets across Europe, America, and Africa were targeted by this modus operandi. Well, it looks like we are already coming to the end of this investigation. And I must admit, I'm quite impressed by what you have done for the last 15 minutes, as you have been able to be really good analysts. You've been able to detect astroturfing. You've been able to identify bots. You've also been able to identify copy pasta, to recognize some images generated by AI, and to figure out that you were not in front of a real media. And this is what an analyst is doing on a daily basis. These are only some examples of modus operandi, but there is plenty others. But what you should really keep in mind is that for each modus operandi, there is still a way to detect and to counter it. And I'm very glad to see that now you are all able to detect by yourself an information manipulation campaign. So thank you for your participation. And if you want to learn more about VIGINUM's work, here is a link toward our latest technical report called Portal Combat. And you can also follow us on our social media accounts. So thank you very much for your participation here in Stockholm, but also online. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.